Hi, this is Resident of Collinwood. I'm here to do a video today, a review actually. It's going to be Silent Hill Revisited. And I bought the Blu-ray DVD off of Shout Factory with the bonus features done by Reverent Entertainment. Um, I'm going to get to the bonus features first because my feelings about the movie just haven't changed. But I will talk about the movie. If you have not bought this Blu-ray, I highly recommend Silent Hill. Not just because of the movie, I do enjoy the movie. The bonus features, the special features, the interviews done by Justin Beam, uh, an amazing job. I mean, with the director, with this effects crew. I listened to this and he always does an amazing job. Shout out to him. I'm also going to do, if I get time, I'm going to do another video because no one's home. I'm by myself right now. Um, what are my feelings about this movie? I I like this movie. I give it a 7 out of 10. Now, some people are going to say just a 7. Yeah, I'll get to why. I've sort of touched on why before, but I'll get to why again. Here's what I like about this movie. I like the fact that they use technology in this movie. They use Google Maps to basically find the town of Silent Hill, and they're researching haunted towns. Um, I really enjoyed that about this movie here. I feel the acting in this movie is very good. It's superb. It's a straight 10. I mean, I don't really, give act. I usually give acting a 6 because I know the actors work very hard, and I go from there. But I'm gonna, and people might say, if you're giving it that high, what's the problem? And I'm gonna, because I played the games, I'm gonna get to I have the issue with. What issue I have with this movie? Um, the atmosphere in this movie is straight up Silent Hill. This is the one movie I'll say. When you go look at certain video game movies, you look at like you're almost insulted that they named it after the game. Um, and like Resident Evil, I don't like the Resident Evil movies. But if you do, that's cool. For me, this definitely was a Silent Hill movie. The atmosphere was done so right. The snow or the ash, the that looked like snow. It was just so amazing. The ghost feel you had, and I mean, just the look, the sets they gave you were really good. And I applaud the director. I applaud the for cinematographer for doing all this stuff. The set designers deserve a lot of credit. The effects team deserves a lot of credit. And they got that in the interview too. And I guarantee you, if they were ever to reboot Silent Hill, I would want the same exact people to do it again because they did that good of a job. Now, well, before I get to my dislikes about this movie, I still want to get to the introduction points of two characters who shouldn't have been there. First, Sybil Bennett. I love her introduction into this movie. It's so smooth, it's nicely done. And so is it. Pyramid Head is done well too. I think just the introduction points to everybody is done so well in this movie. But when I say this, I sort of got to get to what my biggest issue is with this movie. But I got to go to the games before I do that. As somebody who's played Silent Hill the games, and I know there are a lot of people who have, we always hear the words games tend to differ from everything other game you've played, and that is most definitely true for Silent Hill. Silent Hill is like no other game you'll ever play, and here's why. In the very first Silent Hill game, you're introduced to Harry Mason, and Harry Mason's experience in that game is just that. It's Harry Mason's experience, no one else's. And Silent Hill 2, James Sunderland, who is still the all-time most controversial character in Silent Hill history, depending on how you play him. James Sunderland's experience is just that. It's James Sunderland's. It's no one else. So when Harry Mason meets Sybil Bennett, that's Harry Mason's experience. It's not some woman's who you haven't met. It's not Joe Schmo's. It's not anyone else's. It's Harry Mason's. Just like Pyramid Head for James Sunderland. Pyramid Head is James Sunderland's experience. He's no one. It's no one else's. It's in their subconscious mind, so to speak, and the town plays on it. And so, therefore, when you're introduced to this female protagonist, and don't get me wrong, I love her. She's a great character, but through a lot of this movie, outside of maybe the car crash and the daughter she has, and there's another thing, the people she interacts with, those bunch of people in the church, that's her experience. But when you get to Sybil Bennett, when you get to Pyramid Head, and I hate to deduct over something that simple and minor. Some people might hear that and go, that's a bit much. But when you've played the games, they have no business, and I hate to say that, they've got no business being there because those aren't her experiences. She's not Harry Mason, nor is she James Sunderland at all. And she doesn't really possess their mannerisms either, or their. And you might say, well, wait, those characters had mannerisms in the game? Yeah, they did. I mean, if you go back and play those games, they definitely had their own mannerisms about them, with their line dialogue and delivery. This girl's delivery and dialogue was definitely her own, and that's something I love about her. Again, I'm not going to take away from what she did, but what I got to take away is some of the experience she had, because it wasn't really her own. It was part of it was Harry Mason's from 1 and James Sunderland's from 2. And when you get down to that, and that's what Silent Hill is deep down, and you watch the movie, and again, I give this movie a solid 7. I enjoyed it. Listen, I'll watch this movie probably 3 times a year. I'll definitely watch, if not 4, I'll definitely watch it in October, because I just enjoy it that much. It is definitely an enjoyable movie. It's a watchable movie. It's entertaining. It's a great story. But in the same sense of it being a really great story and it being well put together by everyone involved, in the same sense, I have to deduct it for what it is and what it isn't. And what it isn't is, it's not this woman's own experience. It's partially Harry Mason's with Sybil Bennett, because that's who Harry Mason meets, and partially James Sunderland's, and that's who Pyramid Head meets. This woman really, other than, she almost has no business, other than the actual, what the subplot ends up being. It's hard to believe that she's even in Silent Hill, but they do put together a decent enough story to tell you with her. I do wish they would have gotten away from Sybil Bennett and Pyramid Head. Don't get me wrong. Again, I love their introduction points. Great introduction points to introduce those characters in this story and have them there. And the actress who played Sybil Bennett was amazing. I loved her. But in the same sense, I do wish they would have did something else to have a different sort of hero protagonist going along with her. They could have had her own protagonist. There's plenty enough character depth in Silent Hill to just make up a character who goes along with you and who just happens to be there. What I would have done, if it would have been me, I would have had maybe like a sheriff who's still stranded, who just haunts the town, and he's the protagonist. That's definitely something I could see happening in a Silent Hill game. But in the same sense too, is Silent Hill, is it a bad video game movie? Hell no, it's not, for sure. It's a very good video game movie, in fact, and it's definitely my top 3. I only really have 3 because I don't really care much for video game movies because they tend to stray so much. But what I'll say is, where Resident Evil strays so far, This sort of plays it close to the vest, and almost too close for you to sort of call this its own product at times. Again, I know how that sounds. It sounds nitpicky, and I'm not trying to sound nitpicky, but when I think about playing I'm going to give an example. Silent Hill 3, if and 4, Home 3 was sort of its own game, and I love the female protagonist. They sort of borrowed the female protagonist a little bit from 3 here too, a little bit with the blonde hair, but not much else. With 4, with Homecoming, I'll say Homecoming. I should have said Homecoming, not 4 or not 3. Sorry, Homecoming. Where Homecoming has a lot of good gameplay, and your character is got doing all those sort of martial arts and combat moves, and you're going, wow, he really was in the army, and they throw you that twist. It's like, well, wait, how does he know all those moves? No matter how crazy he is, you wouldn't think he would know them. So, and again, it's just like a twist that did not fit Silent Hill. Yes, Silent Hill is one big mind cuckoo, but in the same sense, it almost like it didn't fit. Like, where'd that come from? I mean, and again, Silent Hill is straight out of left field, and I mean far, far left. It's like the galaxy that's far, far, far away. It's way far, 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 far away. It's further out than the damn Twilight Zone, or at least close. But I do give Silent Hill a 7. I do give Justin a lot of credit because he does a great job on these DVDs. Him and his Reverent Entertainment. Shout out to them. Great job. I give this movie a 7 out of 10. I do enjoy it. I don't, again, I think there are just some video games you can't make into movies very well. Is Silent Hill one of those? No, it's a movie that you can definitely make. It's a game that you could definitely make into a movie, and that was proven. I do wish they would use... if they ever reboot Silent Hill, the game, or into a movie, I do hope that they try to do a little further out of characters of their own sort of complete plot instead of just throwing two characters from games together like they did with this. But I do enjoy this movie, and I highly recommend it. It's very watchable, and I love it very much. It's enjoyable. All right, guys, I'll see you. Just a reminder again, guys, I've been plugging this on Facebook and on Twitter. Upcoming, I have an interview September 2nd. I'm not going to mess up the date no more. With John Philip Betancourt, and we're going to discuss his blog he's been doing for 4 years. I've been following this along. It's very, very good, and I can't wait to discuss it with him. I have so many questions for him. And I'm going to really try to do a great job interviewing him. And I'm truly honored he's coming on my channel, guys. And I want to thank you guys. You guys have a good one. Like, share, comment, subscribe.